Okay, guys. So here what we'll do, we are going to provide, complete real-time training, not like other institutes, just we will give some documents and theory. So it won't work here. Okay. Here you will get, complete real-time training by experts. And then we are going to give you some task on daily basis. Apart from this, daily 25 interview questions and answers I am going to share with you in the WhatsApp group. So what you need to do, you need to prepare that 25 questions on daily basis. Okay. So that after completion of your course, immediately you will get the job if you prepare all these interview questions. And apart from this, you will get one project. They are going to explain you how you need to do it, how to create test cases, everything. And after that, we are going to conduct some mock interview as well. Okay. After completion of mock interview, we will give you feedback. Okay, in which topic you are weak, in which area you are good, so that we will validate you accordingly. You need to prepare it again and attend for interview. Okay, once you got opportunity in any one of the company, so if you don't know how to do the work, in the same WhatsApp group you can post your question, we can help you how to do that. But still, if you want to do complete your work someone, so we can arrange that also. Okay, so we are going to provide everything. What you need to do, you need to spend daily 2 to 3 hours. Okay, 1 hour for to listen your class. After that, 1 hour you can practice it. Still, if you have bandwidth, you can prepare interview questions as well. Okay, so I think it's already 9. We'll start now. Okay, so already I made a host, Neha and Sujata. One second. I could see two names here. Okay.
Okay, yep. Thanks, Kishore. Happy Monday, everyone. Hey, thank you. Okay, let us start. Let me share the screen. Okay. Yesterday we discussed, the basics of what is testing, right? So today directly we'll enter to, what is software testing. Hope everyone is able to see the screen.
Yes. Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
Okay. So what is that we discussed in layman terms about testing? Quick responses, please. What is testing?
To check something is working or not.
Yes. In generic, it is nothing but to check if something is working or not, right? So same way when we say what is software testing, as you guys are able to see on the screen, right? Software testing is nothing but an activity to check whether the actual results match the expected results or not, and to ensure that the software system is defect free. We'll just discuss in detail. I'm just going through what is there on the slide, okay? This is one definition which we can say, no one will ask what is software testing in the interview, but just for our understanding, right? Software testing is an activity to check whether the actual results match the expected results or not. Here, when you say actual result, what do you mean by actual result here? Actual result is nothing but whatever is documented in our requirement, right? That is the actual result, right? Which is asked by the client. Actual result is nothing but what is expected by the client. And when you are testing it, once the code is developed and all, you will test the requirement, if the developer developed as per the requirement asked by the client or not, right? Once you test, the actual result should match with the expected result. Expected result is nothing but after testing, you get a result, right? So it should match the client requirement. That is what we are saying. When you check an activity, the actual results should match the expected results. When both the results match, we said the system is working fine and there is no defect in that functionality. Clear? It is nothing but the actual should meet the expected. Okay, and also, how will the software testing help us? Matching actual to expected is fine. But what is the purpose of testing this? What is the main goal of testing?
To check whether the software is working or not.
Yes, software is working fine or not. And as a tester, we need to make sure the functionality is defect free, right? Means no errors in the code developed. As a tester, our main goal is to break the code. Okay. So we should not think from a developer standpoint. We should see where the gap is and we should try to break the code. As a tester, our duty is not to make the code, it is to break the code. You should identify the gaps in which, you should think from a standpoint, where the developer would have missed. Like there will be areas, right? No, once you are experienced, right? No, you will come to know where the development team is prone to errors. So with experience, you will be able to make it out what are the areas, what are the edge areas, right? Where the developer will have a chance to miss the requirement. Main target of the tester should be to find the errors or gaps in the code. Okay. So software testing should help us in identifying the errors, gaps, or missing requirements. Clear? What should be the goal of a tester?
To find the errors on the software.
Yeah. So, some people in interview will ask, as a tester, what is your goal? Then what would be your response? This usually, will be asked for 3 to 4 years experience people in the interviews, What is your point of view as a tester? So what you guys will say? As a tester, your view should be to break the code, not to make the code. It is not like you should just say, you should verify the requirement and you should not just say, yes, this result is pass. To pass the test cases, this should not be your goal. Your goal should be to find the errors. Okay. There is a saying as a tester, your goal should be to break the code, not to make the code. Okay. And software testing will help us to find what?
To find
Make
the
the
defects of the
application
code.
error free.
To identify the errors, gaps, or missing requirements.
Basic requirements.
Yes. So it is, see, the errors will not be there always in the code only. Even from requirement stage, right? When you are reading the document also. So once you get experience, right? If some requirement is not correct or in the requirement document, right? Even the essays or BAs must, they also will do the errors, they will be writing some contradictory statements also. From requirement stage as a tester, you have the opportunity to find the errors. It is not only after, developing an application. Just remind this, even in requirements, right, you can find the gaps. Maybe essay, right, at essay or BAs in a document, in one place they'll mention one statement. And if you go down deep, right, into the document, at places they may have written a contradictory statement as well. So it is a requirement error only, right? So starting from requirement stage, you will get an opportunity to find the errors. It is not that, testers will find only the development errors. Understood? That is what we are saying. Software testing helps us to identify errors, gaps, or missing requirements. Okay. Clear?
Clear.
Okay, moving on to next slide. Just a sec. I'll not take much time on this slide. Why is software testing important? So what, every company will have a testing team. Okay, not only in software, even in productions, right? In pharma, different manufacturing units, every unit, right? Not only software, every unit will have their testing teams. There they call their QA teams or QC teams and all. They also will have their quality check in different industries. Testing is not only mandate in a software industry. Okay. Every manufacturing unit, automobiles, what company, what not, right? Every company will have their quality check units. Okay. Why is testing important? You can just go through whatever you guys are seeing on the screen, right? I just took some major examples. Okay. So Nissan cars, right? I have to recall over 1 million cars from the market due to the software failure in the airbag sensory detectors. So in the US, right? Not in India, in US, right? They have to recall the cars which were released into the market. 2013 and 14 model cars, right? They have to recall back because there are many failures in Nissan car. I just have taken an example of software failure here. So the airbag sensors were not working. So because of which there were accidents caused, and they have to take back all the cars. Yeah, Naresh, question? Okay, so they have to recall the cars which were produced in the year 13 and 14, which is a huge loss, right? This was caused as there was a software failure. It is a huge loss to the company. Yes, no?
Yes, ma'am.
If the testing was done properly, 1 million cars is a huge loss to recall back. And again, they have to test and all, right? Test the cars, correct the failure in the software, right? It is a huge cost involved, which is nothing but a loss to the company. If they would have tested this properly earlier itself, there will not be such a huge loss to the company. The efforts will be just, to pay the salaries of the employee, not more than that, right? But if such failures happen, the company's reputation will be lost, monetary loss, reputation loss, what not. Again, they have to, they will take much time to get their name back, to get the trust from the clients. There will be a number of things related to this, right? And then another
Yes.
example is of Starbucks. So on one fine day, right, there was a software failure in the POS machine. Starbucks is very famous in US and Canada. They have, stores across. Now we see many stores in India also, right? So this is very famous in US and Canada. Here, at least our people think it is a luxury, Starbucks and all, but there it is not. It is like our normal chai shops there. Everyone, will go to Starbucks and have their daily coffee, tea and all, okay? So one fine day, because of the software failure, right, they have to close about 60% of the stores because they were not able to issue the bills. Okay, here, right, they will place the orders upfront only. If you're going tomorrow morning, you need something, right? Now we have door deliveries, but this is a culture from long back there, right? So they will place orders and they will be waiting for you guys, for Starbucks guys to deliver. So there was a software failure in the POS system. POS is nothing but point of sale systems. In our supermarkets and all, right? We see that billing systems, right? That we call POS, point of sale systems. And then, they were not able to print the bills. At one point of time, right? They have to close 60% of the stores because they were not able to deliver the orders. And then some stores, though, they gave the coffee and all for free. As there was hesitation, resistance from the customers, they have to offer this for free. Is this a loss or not? 60% of stores closing one day is a loss to the business? Yes, no?
Yes.
Because it is wide, 60% wide across US and Canada, 60% stores closed, in the sense that there is a business loss and they have to invest again in correcting the failures and all. There is time, reputation, money, everything will be lost if there is a failure in the product. That is the main. So for any unit, right, quality check is a must. Okay. Okay, then, today we'll discuss about SDLC. Okay, SDLC is nothing but, anyone in the group? Few of must you have the idea?
Software development
Software.
life cycle.
Perfect, perfect. So software development life cycle, we have SDLC and STLC, software testing life cycle as well. Software testing life cycle is part of SDLC, software development life cycle. Okay, so at least you can mark this also. This is also one important interview question. They will ask you to draw SDLC or STLC at least till 3 to 4 years, right? They will ask you and to explain, what is SDLC or STLC. They may ask you anything. Okay. Now I'll go at a high level. We'll discuss deep later. I don't want to take much time or go into deep. We can talk for 1 hour on this. I'll just give an high level overview for now. As I said, STLC is part of SDLC. Okay. Software development life cycle. And yesterday we discussed about requirement gathering. This will be the first stage. Okay. Requirement gathering stage is the first stage of SDLC. What you guys understood yesterday from requirement gathering? What we do?
What the client need.
Yeah, what is the client ask is what we will understand in this requirement gathering stage. And who all will be involved?
BS and SA.
BAs and SAs.
Development testers.
Okay.
Team leads.
Okay.
Stakeholders, client side people.
Yeah, stakeholders is, we use the word stakeholders for all this set of people. It is like from client side, we'll have people, and from the company end, we'll have all the few executive management, in the sense like directors, development managers. Directors, they'll just get involved for 1 or 2 meetings, and then on development managers, BA managers, SA managers will take the meeting. Okay, what we call this, the very first meeting? Do you remember the term?
Inception session.
Perfect. Inception sessions. Okay. So this requirement gathering stage, what we'll discuss, the company people will try to gather as much as information as possible about the details and specifications of the desired software from the client. What is the software that the client wants us to build? Okay, is what our company people will try to gather the information. This stage is called requirement gathering. Okay, we are trying to gather all the requirements, what the client needs. Okay, and then after requirement gathering, what will be the next stage? It is design stage. Okay, so we didn't discuss about this design, but any idea what we'll do? Maybe generic thought.
We can design the code.
Just a blueprint for the given requirements discussed by internal side of the company.
Yeah. So yes, design stage, right? The client, we took requirements from client. Now our company people will come back. They'll have an internal meeting. See, design stage, right? Every team will have their own internal meetings. It is not like again BAs, SAs and all will sit. There might be a common meeting, or they will work with their own teams. So saying, BAs and SAs will try to, make this SRS, detailed documents from their end, and the developers, managers, and all will be thinking on the technical side of it, like, what will be the suitable language, if the client may ask, I'm fine with Java or .NET, whatever it is. They are not specific on the technology on which the application needs to be developed. So they said, I'm fine with Java or .NET. Okay, what our company people will have in their own internal meetings, they will see the feasibility and the cost. The client must have given some budget also, right? So they will think in their budget, what will be the suitable technology? Is it Java, .NET, PHP, whatever the language, right? If they just gave us an option of Java and .NET example. So if the Java resources are paid high, a company also should have some profit after, developing a product, right? So they will think we have more Java resources, .NET, what is our skill set? What, people we have? We have more of .NET, and as per the requirement, what will be more feasible technology? They'll discuss all these things and they will finalize the technology, what will be the database to be used and all. So different teams will have their own meetings in this design stage. They will design, the high level architecture, how it should be and all. All this will be decided in the design stage. It is not the actual code development, guys. It is the planning of all these things. Architecture, what technology to be used. Okay. All these things will be planned in the design stage. Clear? Immediately, we are not starting the development in this stage. Please remember that. Okay. Plan the programming language, like what needs to be used and which will be suited for the project, and we'll design some high level architecture. And SAS, BAs will be doing their document work and all parallelly. Okay. Every team will be doing their designs. It is not like they're actually started working. They are planning how to do the work in the design stage. Clear? Yes, no?
Yes,
Yes.
ma'am.
Okay. Moving on to next stage. We are done with requirement gathering. We gathered the information. Then we planned how the design should be, right? I mean, what technologies to be used. We designed the high level architecture and all. After requirement gathering, design stage, we come into build stage, build. Okay. Build is nothing but you're actually starting to build your software here. By this time, your technical, SRS, FDS should be ready in the design stage by the SA and BA team. Before you come to this stage, right? Build stage, you will have your SRS and FDS documents in hand. We discussed about SRS, FDS yesterday.
Yes.
Yes, yes.
In requirement gathering stage, your BRD will be ready. Okay. In design stage, your SRS and FDS documents will be ready. SRS and FDS is same. And then for development team, if any technical specification document is required, that also will be ready in the design stage. It is nothing but in the design stage, all the required documentation will be in hand for the development and testing team to work. Okay. In the build stage, based on the SRS documents, the development team will start their design. Nothing but start developing the code. In build stage, you are starting your development. Clear? After build stage, next comes test stage. From here, your STLC will start. Okay. As I said, STLC, software test lifecycle, is part of your SDLC. Okay. Right? From here, your STLC will start from the test stage, software test lifecycle. Next, your documents are ready. Again, testers has to write your test cases and all. You have to plan your testing, right? Design the test cases and all based on the SRS documents, right? You have the documents in your hand and you will start writing the test cases here. And then start testing from this stage. Okay, once testing is done, we'll see software test lifecycle later. Just remember, after developing the code, we started testing the requirement. You test the software to verify that it is built as per the specifications given by the client or not. Okay. After testing, what we do? The next stage is deployment stage. What do you mean by deployment? Once
After
the yeah, please.
after testing the entire application, we will deploy to the production, like user stage.
Okay. So at a high level, right? After once you test, there are many things to discuss here, but at a high
Yes.
level, we are going in the flow. Deployment stage. Deployment is nothing but once you develop the application, you have to give it to the client for their use, right? So we call that as a production environment. When you are handing it over to the client for using it, right? We say the application is deployed into production environment. Okay. Once the code is deployed into production environment, the client will use for his purpose. He will give it to end users, or maybe if it is a banking application or any e-commerce application, whatever it is, right? Say suppose we developed Amazon. Okay. Say any application, right? All the features will not be built at once. Just remember this. We'll not develop the complete application and one go and then deploy it to production environment. Okay. There will be multiple releases. We'll be developing each functionality or a set of functionalities together, and we'll be deploying first in one release, right? The client will ask, in the first release, I want this features to be available for my production users. So we'll develop that functionalities and then deploy into production environment. And then next functionalities will be on the priority list. They'll give a set of functionalities what has to be developed. We'll see all this in detail later, but just for your understanding, keep it in mind so that when we go down, right, you will be able to relate. So just remember, all complete application will not be developed in one go and be deployed into production environment. There will be priority list, a bucket list, which will be given to the company from client, right? He'll ask, first of all, I need login page. I'll just take an example of a banking application because most of you will be using it, right? So first of all, a bank will ask me, I want a user to create their login credentials, and then they should be able to add payees and transfer funds. This is my first basic priority, what you have to develop. Company will have that priority list. They will develop this functionalities: login, add payee, transfer funds. Okay, this is my first set. Company developed that and deployed to production. In next stage, right? Next priority is now when a money is transferred, right? I should get a confirmation saying that the funds are transferred. I should get a message to my mobile. Okay, just remember these two examples. So next functionality is I should receive a message when the funds are debited from my account. I should receive a message saying so much amount is debited from my account. Just remember these two functionalities for now. We'll discuss later. So these two functionalities we developed, deployed into production environment. Okay, then comes, am I confusing here?
No.
The deployment stage, just remember, will not deploy the complete functionality at one go into the production environment. Okay, the functionalities will be deployed on a release to release basis based on the client task. Whatever they ask us to develop on a priority basis, the team will follow that bucket list and will be developing the functionalities. Okay. Then going on to maintenance stage. Okay, once your system is ready to use, right? There is some code in the production environment already. And later on, you already deployed some add payee and then transferring funds, and you deployed into production environment. Now, in adding a payee, right, they ask you to add some, field, extra field example. The code is already developed and is deployed into production environment. Now they came back and asked, I want you to add one more field. Earlier, maybe when you are adding a payee, there were fields called first name, last name, account number, okay, and then IMPS. Just think there were only 4 fields earlier, okay. First name, last name, account number, and IMPS. These 4 fields were there when we were adding a new payee. We developed this and already deployed into the production environment. Now the client came back to us asking, I want one more field to be added. That is first name. They want a middle name also to be added now. Example, okay. Now what we'll do, we will not take the production code which is already there in the production environment, right? We'll not roll back that code. So what we will do, this we call, it is a change request which came from the client. We call in the real world, right? This small changes, right? We called a change request. If any small change come, we called a change request. If little, effort is required and some big changes will come, right? We call them change control. Okay. You will, we'll discuss on all these things later, but remember any small change which they ask, right? We called it a change request, CR. In generic terms, right? Shortcuts, they call it CR. It will be raised in some tracking tools and all. Change request, change control. Remember these words. So we'll raise a change request and then add on. We'll have this. Here I should discuss about different environments, but I'll not go into that all now. You'll have different environments like development environment, test environment, stage, and production. Okay. All the development work will be done in development environment. Okay. And then one part of the code, our code is already rolled out to production environment with the features we developed. Yes, no? I said we developed the code, the 2 functionalities, add payee and then bank transfer. We developed this 2 functionality and our code is already in production environment to use from the client side. Understood? Guys, I need a response, I'll not be able to understand if you guys are following me or not, if there is no response.
Needed for later they develop the 2 modules. No, further testing is also needed, right?
Yes,
After
after
that,
testing
we
only,
will go to deployment stage.
yes, after testing, then only it will get deployed into production environment. Before testing, nothing will be deployed to production environment. Clear?
Yes.
Yes, after deployment to production environment, we called a maintenance stage where some other change request will be coming from the client. This code is already there in production environment, what we developed, add payee and then bank transfer. It is already there in the production environment and the client side people are already using it. That will be there. They will be using it. Now, again, there is a client request coming saying we wanted to add another new field to add new payee. Now we have already first name and last name, which people are using in the production environment. Now there is a change request which came from the client saying I want a middle name also to be added. So what they will do, we will not recall, rollback is what we use. Oh no, we'll not roll back this code, whatever is there in production environment. We will again add that field in the code which we have in development environment. And then, right, after adding that field, again comes the test stage. We'll test if that new field, middle name is added or not. And then we will deploy this patch once again to the production environment. It is like, a new version, higher version of the code will be deployed into this production environment. Okay. Now, the first name, middle name, and last name, everything, once we deployed the latest version, that will be available in the production environment. So this maintenance stage, right, it will be recurring. See, in real world, right, it is not like 6 months or 1 year, you develop a project and then give it to the client. There will be continuous maintenance of it also. Okay, if it is very big clients, right, there will be projects running for 5 years, 10 years, 15 years, there will be continuous projects, change requests coming and all in real time, right? the term of the project is not just 1 or 2 years. There are projects, right, with companies like, vast companies, Infosys, Wipro, you say Cognizant, TCS, right? You'll have projects running from 15 to 20 years. The client will be with the companies, right? They need the maintenance also. As per the business requirement, the market will be changing and all, right? There will be many add-on features which needs to be added, and then all that will be taken care in the maintenance stage. More than new projects coming up, right? Many companies will have the maintenance projects itself. There will be projects which will be developing from scratch, and then there will be the maintenance projects also. Okay, we'll explain deep later on, because at now, right, you may feel confusing because who are not people who are new to testing will be little confused in this too, I understand. But when we go deep down in the next sessions, right, we'll explain each stage clearly and how it will be there in the real world. Okay, so for now, just remember, in SDLC you'll have requirement gathering stage, you'll gather the requirements. Design stage, you will plan what all technology is required and all, and then the high level architectures will be designed. SRS documents will be ready by this stage. Okay, and then we enter into build stage, where we actually develop the code. The developers will actually develop the software. Next is test stage, where the testing team will test the requirements and then deploy into production deployment stage, and then the maintenance stage will continue. Okay, these are the different stages in SDLC. We'll take a pause here. Okay, and then we'll hand it over to Neha. Okay, thank you guys. Tomorrow we'll see what is SDLC. Okay, thank you. Neha, over to you.
Yeah, Sujata. Sorry. Good morning, guys.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Very good morning.
Good morning.
Okay. Good morning. Good morning. So before I get started, so any questions from yesterday's demo? Do you have anything that I wanted you to address?
No.
No? Okay, fine. Then let's start. Yesterday while I was telling, I got dropped off in between. So let me continue from there. Let me share my screen.
Neha, one quick question.
Yeah, tell me.
So in the agenda part for the whole course, so what are the topics that we are going to cover? So there, in the framework topic, we have two, NestNG and the BDD. So
Yes.
will we have BDD and TestNG both, or we are going to focus on the single one?
No. I'll first we'll concentrate more on TestNG, because
Okay.
most of the companies are like still asking for TestNG. BDD is just recently started. Companies have recently started moving to BDD. So even at the end, we'll cover BDD topics as well. Don't worry about that.
Okay.
Okay. So
Neha,
tell me.
let me open it. Actually, this is my primary concern why I am here from day one. So what's the thing is that actually I'm a manual tester, and recently since our project is BDD framework, Java Selenium BDD framework. So since it looks pretty easy, as we can read it very easy, so I just agreed to my manager that I will work on the automation too, but I don't know how that really works, and it's a product based company. People don't really show you the soft face of there. So I'm in a critical phase where I need to at least have the setup first, where I'm struggling now.
Okay.
Yeah, actually I'm from Pune, and do you run any institute? If it is yes, and where it is, so that I will visit and I need to have the setup. And I don't know much people in the automation. Recently, I switched the domain into the testing. Before that, I was in a different domain. So
Okay, this is Vinay, right?
yeah.
Yeah, Vinay, can we discuss this offline?
Fine. If I get
Okay.
the chance,
Sure.
actually, I asked
Just,
the
you
Krish.
have Kishore's number, right? You just leave your number there. We'll give a call back.
Yeah, please.
Okay. As we just have another 20 minutes, right? We can discuss in detail.
Fine, no problem.
Yeah. Thank you. Yeah, Neha.
Yeah. Okay, don't worry about that, Vinay. We'll help you. Okay.
Thank you.
Yeah. So yesterday I was just telling about the required software or required tools for Selenium. So I think we covered till HTML. Why like HTML is required to learn Selenium and all. So next we'll go with the required framework. So whether it may be TestNG, because the couple of companies go with TestNG or BDD. Both are different kinds of framework. It's like altogether the same. The whatever you write the code inside that, right? The Java code, whatever you write, it will be the same. But only like BDD is nothing but it is more user friendly. Why people are moving towards BDD, because whenever you share the report or whenever you wanted to share that with multiple audience, like the product owner or the business head and all, they will easily understand what exactly you are doing and all. So they will be giving some file, the product. I mean, you'll get to know, the in detail roles, maybe in with manual testing codes. Whenever they give some file with that feature, we'll call that as a feature file. So with that feature file, we'll proceed, we'll start writing the code. So with BDD, we'll not be having the test cases basically here. So they'll be giving us the feature file. In that, they'll give the requirements. What exactly am I expecting from these particular case or particular user story, I would say. So from there, you have to write the coding from that part. Okay. And if you may get the doubt, right, why we need any framework. See, for example, okay, let me share my entire screen here. Just a second. Okay. You're able to see again?
Yes.
Okay. So yeah, so this is IntelliJ, the IDE, which we can use to write the automation coding part here. Of course, we can go with IntelliJ or we can go with Eclipse. If we are comfortable with any of the thing, it's fine. It doesn't matter if you are using Eclipse or IntelliJ. Why I'm using this is little advanced than Eclipse. We'll get the more advanced features in IntelliJ. That's why I'm going with this. And of course, there will be not much difference with the idea whether it is Eclipse or whether it is IntelliJ and all. So this is a sample program which I have written, just to open a browser. Here, if you see the browser link. So just google.co.in, I'm just opening. I just wanted to search with Selenium. And I just want, so whenever I search with Selenium, there will be multiple results, right? So if you see here, okay, so google.co, I'll open here. So here I'll search with Selenium. So I wanted to go here. I wanted to click the link, whatever the link is available here. I just click and I wanted to validate just this Selenium WebDriver is displayed or not. Okay, this is just a very basic sample test case I have written, because not to make you guys more confused in the demo class. It's a very basic test. So I have just written that. So if you see this, right, definitely you will be getting all the doubts. So what exactly, like each and every line in the codes, trust me, I'm going to explain about each and every line why we have written that. So each and every line has its purpose. It's not just, because I have just written, it's not like, I'm going to say, we have to write in this way. There may be multiple options to write that as well. I'm going to tell that even. Because in interview, right, if you just face an interviewer and if they just ask, maybe they give one scenario to write, like just open a web page or like make my trip. log in that and search so and so links. And if you write whatever you are seeing here, definitely they'll think that you have learned something and they don't feel that you are having real-time experience with that. So in the course, what I'm going to cover is, I'm going to tell why I have written this and what are the alternatives for that as well. See, for example, if you see this line, driver.get with this URL link. Okay, what it will do, I'll tell in detail, what is driver, what is get method, and why are we using this driver, and here what is Chrome driver. I'm going to tell in detail in the course. Don't worry about that. So here, this particular line will launch the browser and will open this particular URL, google.co.in, this one. Okay, I'll execute this code at the end of demo as well. You can see that. And if you see here, the another line I have written is driver.navigate to. So this will also launch the URL. So here you may definitely you will expect an interview question here. What are the two different methods to launch an URL? One is get and another is navigate to. Okay, you're fine. You have told this answer well and good. So the next question definitely you may get is, what is the difference between get and navigate to? So definitely the one who really have working knowledge and work experience, they can only completely elaborate what is the difference between get and navigate to, right? So I'm going to cover in this detail, for each and everything. What is the difference between get and navigate to if you want here. So get, both, even though both will launch URL, navigate to will wait for little more time after launching the URL. And if we use this navigate to, right, we will be getting forward and backward options here. See here, I'm getting here this web page has been launched, right? This navigate, whatever is here, I have written, right, navigate function. So this has another more functions, like if I wanted to go to move forward and backward options. Here, if I see, right, these, if I write, right, now if I wanted to click here, with Selenium, just only click doesn't work here. And if I just wanted to go to the previous page, because this is not a web page, guys. Whatever here, right, here I'm seeing, this is only web page where I can perform my operations. So whatever here we are doing, right, just mouse click doesn't work here. So for that, we have a couple of functions like driver.navigate to.forward, driver.navigate to.backward. Like this, we have a couple of functions. Okay, so I'm going to tell in that detail in the course. And also here, if you see, right, this one, this particular line of code, okay, this find here, if you see this particular text, find element. So what did you understand by this word find element? Anyone in the group? What it will do?
Maybe
It's
tries
searching
to
for the
find.
element what we had entered.
Yes, correct. So here, whatever, here this search button, if I go back here, this one, it is trying to search for this particular search box. Okay, so in order for my code to interact with the browser, it needs something, right? It cannot directly go there and just wherever it wants, it cannot enter the value. So for that, we need these HTML tags here. Whatever here you are seeing, this is, right, text area. So how you get this? Go here, right click. You can click on inspect. Okay, once you click on inspect, here you will get this elements tab. Go here you can see. So as soon as I just highlight on this, it is getting highlighted, right? That text, if I just remove this Selenium, okay. See, the total area is getting highlighted. Means while developing this, they have considered this as a text area. Here you can see the tag, and here the text area, and the text which they have given is search. If you go here, the title they have given is search. So how to identify, because if I go in detail, the one which we call this as XPath. Maybe if the people from testing background has listened to this word, what is XPath? So what is ID, what is XPath, what is CSS and all, I'll be definitely covering in detail in the class. Okay, how to write, because this is like very, very important. Using XPath, using different kinds of locators only, we will communicate to the browser. The browser should know, right, where I should click, where I should enter the value, from where I need to select the value and all. So this is like very important topic. Definitely I'm going to cover in detail and all. And also, remember guys, I'm not just going to say, the plain, like whatever is available in the Google. So you have to write like this, like these lines of code you have to write and all. For each and every topic, then and there itself, I'll be covering the interview questions. Okay. For example, if you see here, this find element. And there is another method as well. If I just write, see, this IntelliJ will give this we call this as IntelliSense, guys. So as soon as I type driver dot, it will give all the available methods here, which I have to choose. So if you get used to it, no need to even remember, like what exactly is the full name of that. If you just write find, it will just give, the methods which are starting with F5. This is the beauty of IDE. If you just write in where like plain notepad or text pad, you'll not get this. That's why of course, this is available with Eclipse as well. It's not just only with IntelliJ. Even though if you write your code in Eclipse, you'll get this. Okay. So if I just write this find elements, and here the interview question will be like, what is the difference between find element and find elements? So can anyone just answer with the seeing the plain text as you have told? Find element is you just find that particular element on the page. In a similar way, can someone say what is find elements?
It will return the list of the elements.
Okay, fine. That's correct. Okay, if I wanted to, for example, I wanted to search with if there are multiple links on the web page, okay, and I just want to get the whole collection of links into one element, because I wanted to, if at all I just write the plain text like this, like each and every element, if I just write the XPath like this, if there are 10 links, guys. So if I just write each line of code for each link and each click, I can do that. You can write each line of code for each link. I can just click on that. But if you see that code and if you see, write some 3 to 4 lines of code performing that operation, which one you prefer? Definitely the next one only, right? Because it's, as an automation test engineer, it's not just you are writing the code and you are completing. It's equally important that how efficient is your code is working, and also how how effectively you have written the code. It means definitely there will be like coding standards to follow. It's not like just you're going to write the plain line of code. See, this whatever here I have written, this will definitely work, no doubt in that. But if I write this in a more if you see this, and if I maintain some different different Java classes, and if I use all the Java concepts here and write, and if it is in a framework structured way, so, and if it is like more reusable, so if I cannot reuse this whole bunch of code like this, right? If at all I wanted to search another area, so if I just put this in a function and if I just reuse that, and if you write your coding in that way, which one you would prefer? Definitely the second one, right? And while you are giving an interview also, if you write in that structured way, definitely write in the initial stages itself, if you can showcase what exactly, if it's not just while the interviewer is asking about if, for example, Java OOPS concepts, anyone can say, because it's like available on Google. You just go learn, mug up those, what is inheritance, what is abstraction, what is polymorphism and all. You can just learn the definitions, and examples are also available there. You can just say them. And if you tell them, and if there are like 10 people in the interview, if a couple of people say that, and if you are one of them, and if you say with real-time examples like this, in the coding where you use that. For example, here if you see WebDriver is equal to new Chrome driver. Here there is one of the OOPS concepts which we are using, okay, which is polymorphism. I'll tell what exactly, inside this and why it is called polymorphism and all. So if you tell in this detail, so imagine yourself as an interviewer, and if you say, like the examples like this, like in the coding which you are doing for automation coding, if you say this kind of examples, and if you just say, yeah, Ashu, you have some question? You raised your hand?
Yes, right. So actually, I do have a quick question. So is this course for beginners, or is this for the people who wanted to upgrade from manual to automation? Because you right away started taking us to the code, and it is simply
Ashu, I know.
to be honest, it's not that much amazing. So that's the reason I'm just checking. Because if this is not for beginners, then
This is for beginners, Ashu. Okay. So we told you in the start of the session itself. In the demo, right? We are showing you how the IDE looks like. It is not that you should understand everything. We are just showing the IDE, and we'll be starting with the basic Java. Okay, for you to understand. Don't worry. This is just a demo. We are trying to give an high level overview of it. This is for beginners and people who are planning to change the domain. We told this in the very first session itself. Right? Don't worry seeing this. We'll take you, through every detail. That is what Neha is saying, right? This is for you just to understand the interface, how it look like. Okay?
Okay.
Don't worry. You will get each and every detail.
No worries. Thank you.
Yeah. So the thing which I'm trying to say is, in the course, you will get to know each and every detail, why I have written this line of code. And definitely, because if you don't know anything, like very new fresher, definitely you will get confused and much worried about, I'm not aware of all these things. How would I learn and all? Don't worry about that. See, for that reason, here I have mentioned the course sequence also. First I'll be covering Java, because that's what actually I wanted to say. If I just directly go to Selenium and say you have to like the systems of dot set property is used for so and so function, and if you just write this line of code, maybe you'll get an idea, but you don't understand in detail why we are using that. So that's why I'll first start with Java, like core Java, all the OOPS concepts and all, like OOPS concepts, data types, variables, exception handling, the keywords, and like constructor. And I think maybe you guys have listened all these words, right? At least, maybe if you are, even though a fresher or an experienced people, at least you might have listened to these words, right? So I'll be explaining each and everything in detail. Along with that, in Selenium codes, like, telling about these lines of code, I'll be telling, where we are using those Java concepts also. It's not just I'll be telling, just this plain line of code, write this, it will work, take this code and write. No, I'm not going to tell in that way. So each and every line of code where we are using Java concept and all, definitely I'll be telling that. Don't worry.
Yeah. One thing to add on here. See, when we say Java, guys, don't worry that you need to learn complete Java. Okay. For Selenium, right? When you're automating it, whatever the level of Java you need, right? We'll be training on those from those standpoint. It is not like, we will train you like a Java developer. It is not the case. What understanding you should have to write the Selenium scripts, right? We will be training you on those lines. So don't worry that, you have to learn complete Java. That is not the case here. Okay?
Yeah, it's correct.
Clear? We'll start from the basics Java, what you should have an idea of, and little bit of HTML. It is like very easy. Wherever required, we'll be touching those HTML syntaxes as well. Okay?
Yeah, to answer more detail to your point, I'll be telling, what is this public static void main also. So everyone is aware of, why we write this and all, but the interview point of view and the interview question is why it is public, why we are declaring main method as static and all. So I'm going to tell you in that detail. Okay, don't worry about that. Whether I'll be able to understand or not. Definitely, because I'll treat myself as a fresher and I'll tell like each and everything in a detail. And I'll like map Java concepts here with the Selenium, and I'll explain here again also. Like whatever the concepts you have learned in Java, right? I'll be explaining here. And also I'll be telling you interview questions, like this here I have told you, right? Find element and find elements. So here the interview questions is like maybe what is the difference between find element and find elements. So that is one of the question. And of course, one of the person has answered find elements will return the list of the web elements. So in that way, I'm just trying to see, like while covering, it's not like, today's topic is covered and I'm going to give the questions at the end. So you'll not relate much. If I say like while telling the topic itself, if I say this can be the interview question, then definitely you'll remember that. And if you read them again, you will relate and you'll never forget it. Okay. So what we are trying to say is definitely at the end of the course, we'll guarantee that you will be, like definitely learn Selenium and you will be in a position to automate test cases. You will, but with knowing all these concepts, whatever here I have written, this TestNG, POM, Maven, Git, CI/CD, and of course BDD as well I'll be covering. And these interview questions also we'll be sharing at the end of the course. We'll be conducting mock interview as well. So all these concepts, has its own importance. It's not just, because the interviewer is asking, we are including it. No. So Maven has its own importance because it should even help for you to get into the get through the interview and also to help you to work, right? So if you just clear the interview and if you are not able to work also, definitely you will face little difficulty. So if you learn in detail about all these things, you will never face any difficulty while working also. Okay, we'll be covering all these things in the course also. And yeah, so these are all the Java topics which I'm going to cover in this. Yeah, Shashidhar, some couple of the people are raising hands. Yeah, you can tell me.
Will you cover the hybrid framework?
Sorry?
Will you cover the hybrid framework?
Yeah, this one I'm going to cover. This one definitely. This TestNG and whatever is BDD here we are talking about, those are like hybrid frameworks only. I'll tell in detail, what is hybrid framework and all. Why we are using this and all. I'll definitely tell in detail.
Okay, today we'll be sharing the course content as well in the group. I'm not sure if Kishore already shared it. So, we'll be circulating whatever the topics will be covered as part of Selenium and manual testing API. Okay. So guys, it is, maybe freshers or who want to switch domain and all, don't worry. It is not like, we'll just cover the topics, from day one, we are assuring you. It will be keeping the real world in mind. We frame this course. So whatever the topic we covered will make you relate, understand, how the real environment works. We'll try to relate each and every topic to the real world and explain you. That is what we are assuring from day one. It is not like, we just will complete whatever the topics listed here and then we'll wind off the course. Our teaching method is not so. Our main motive is finally, right? Anyone who takes training, the main intent of them joining the sessions is to crack the interviews and get placed, right? So we have that very much in mind and we will explain you each and every topic in the same way so that it should help you in your work environment as well. As Neha said, it is not to just crack the interview, but it should help you while performing your work as well. Okay, we assure that we will hold your hand to clear the interview and make the easy work. Okay. Freshers or whoever is planning to switch domain and all need not worry. Yes, no. And we'll be sharing the course content today so that you'll get an understanding of what all will be covered as part of Selenium. Or even the course content is structured in a way, what is the ask from the companies, right? So even the course is designed in such a way. Okay. Any other questions?
No.
All good?
Actually, I have one question related to like Selenium.
Mm-hmm.
Like Selenium is used for only web applications, right?
Yes.
Then like Tosca is used for both web and I think so remaining like um mobile or any like in that way.
No, Tosca is the tool, here Selenium is Tosca is for end-to-end automation basically. And
Okay.
you are right, Selenium has certain limitations as well, definitely, because it cannot automate desktop applications, it cannot automate mobile applications. There are many limitations for Selenium also. Yeah.
Yeah, but when we study like when we take the course of the Selenium, we need to learn like Appium separately.
Yes.
But Tosca is only for like we do all those things at one place in Tosca, I think so. That's the basic idea I have in that Tosca actually.
So you wanted to go with Tosca, not with Selenium, you are telling?
No, not in that way actually. Like, what's the difference? Like, why we need to take the Selenium and why not Tosca? Like, what's the importance of Selenium when compared to Tosca? In that way, I'm asking, not in the other way. You
Okay.
just
Yeah, actually, Ramya, to answer your question, right? See,
uh,
it is up to us what tool we learn. See, but why we chose to give training on Selenium is based on the market requirement. Everyone
Yes.
want to get a placement, right? So
yes,
more opportunities or we have wide opportunities for Selenium. So once you know any automation, right, then you can later on enhance your skill on any of the tool. But what is the wide requirement or the basic requirements everyone looks at is at Selenium right now in the market? Not now. I mean from long, right? Many companies are using this Selenium to automate their scripts.
okay, fine. But you just don't take in the wrong way.
No,
I'm just
no. See, we are here to address your questions, right? Nothing wrong.
like I'm just asking like why Selenium, like in that way I need, like I want to know, right? Since I'm learning
Yes.
Selenium, I want to know why. See, in interview people might be asking why only Selenium, why not some other. They will be asking, right?
So when you go for an interview, right, you will tell them, so I have worked on Selenium because I have got an opportunity to work on Selenium. It is not like, you will not work on Appium. Everyone will not work on all the tools, right? It depends on, what your company is using. So you can tell them, I have worked on Selenium. If given an opportunity, I'm more interested to learn other tools as well.
Okay, fine. Yeah,
Okay.
you just take the in wrong way. Like I'm just
No,
asking.
nothing wrong, Ramya. Perfectly, your question is perfectly fine. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can
Okay,
learn
Ramya,
any tool,
one
that's
second.
up to you, Wide market and the company usage is on Selenium from long.
Yes. I'm searching that. Like I
Ramya,
have
are
seen.
you able to see my screen?
Yes, sir. Yes.
Okay, if you take, this testing, this entire India, you could see
Yes.
only 400 jobs.
Those guys somewhat like now it's upcoming. I don't know, but I have just heard.
Yeah,
That's it.
that's what we are saying. Like if you take this, course, you didn't get much opportunities in the market. Let's say if you take automation, you will get, compare this. Directly, right. You can see
Yes.
24,850 jobs. But when you go with the previous one, you could see only 400.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, don't
Yeah.
mind actually. I'm
No,
just
okay, no problem.
Neha.
Any
Yeah,
other
tell
question?
me.
Yeah, sorry for that.
No, it's
Actually.
perfectly fine because it's not just you are learning the course, you should know, right, why you are learning that. It's perfectly fine. No, and because I'm very happy that you didn't hesitate to ask your question in the group. I really appreciate that.
Fine.
Yeah,
Okay,
there is some other question from Ashu. I see hand raised by Ashu.
No, I do not have any questions. Actually, that was the previous one, I guess.
Previous one. Okay,
Yeah,
fine.
yeah.
Okay. Any other questions from the group?
No,
Okay.
not yet. We'll discuss.
Yeah. Over to you, Kishore. We are fine.
Okay, guys,
Thanks all.
if you don't have any questions, we're going to wind up this session now. And I'm going to share this recording in the WhatsApp group. Okay. And as I promised, daily I'm going to, apart from these trainers, I'm going to provide daily 25 interview questions and as well as answers. Okay. In training, they will teach you each and every concept, what and all the, possible questions you will get it, that you can, you will get it from the trainers. Apart from this, I'm going to provide, these things extra. Okay. And moreover, you will get class recordings on daily basis. Today recording also I'm going to post in the WhatsApp group. Okay. So tomorrow is our last last demo session, so that you can attend that session as well. So if you feel okay, you are able to learn this course, okay, and you can enroll for this course, so that Wednesday onwards we are going to start our actual classes, and we will create a separate group for your doubts and all. Okay, daily we are going to allocate some activities. Okay, you need to work on it. If you are facing any issues, you can post your questions over there. Okay, they are going to help you. Clear?
Yeah, and Vinay, I believe, right? Vinay, you can leave your number in the group and then we'll give a call back.
Guys, you are there in group, right? So you can
Yeah,
call.
then the group.
Is my number.
Yeah, I texted to Krishna already.
Krishna, who is Krishna? We don't know.
Krish.
Yeah, but I didn't get
Kishore.
your ping.
Okay.
Okay, any questions? You can reach out to this number. Guys, are you able to see my screen?
Yes, I just took the number. Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay, guys.
Yep. Thanks, everyone. Have a great day ahead. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Thanks all.